Hi, everybody. It's your boy Joshie from the Hoots Podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. I was not sure if this was a video that I would ever record. Um, and I feel like this one has been coming for a long time. I think it's a little long overdue. And we're not going to talk wrestling here today, but um, I've been biding my time, trying to pick out the right time and place to have this conversation with you guys because I think part of me um, still kind of holds a little bit of shame of where I was a couple years ago, especially where I was this time last year. And I really, still a year into this stuff, I really having a hard time trying to figure out the one word to really describe what this transformation project is. Because for me, it hasn't just been something about weight loss or just only taking care of my health. I think it's really it kind of goes back to what Seth Rollins said when he came back from his first knee surgery back in 2016 about redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. And I think when I think about transformation, I think about how I see myself. I think about the grind and mental pressure that I put myself through sometimes, and I think that this project has been a learning and growing and spiritual experience for me on all different levels. Um, the rewarding part about this past year of my life has been the progress that I've made, and I hope for those who have been like longtime supporters of my podcast in my life can see the difference in progress that I made from where I was this time last year to where I'm at now. And I want to play a couple of little things for you and show you a couple of different images to kind of give you a little context of what's gone on. And what I want to do today is just have a real honest conversation with you guys. And I am a person to hold myself accountable. I am not somebody that's going to duck and hide when it comes to taking accountability for the things that I've put myself in position in that light. And I want this video to be a little bit of motivation for anybody that's probably in the same position that I am in right now, or was this time last year, which is a better way to phrase it. And maybe people that are looking for some clarity and stuff like that. And I wanted to bring you in, guys, on what's been going on in my life off the air. And this is gonna be a deep conversation. So, what I first want to first and foremost say is that the reason I started this project in late of June of last year to where I'm here on August 25th um, is to get myself to the point again where I'm undeniable. Not not in the sense of being rejected in relationships, nothing about professional, being undeniable to myself. Because I feel in my heart, and I know this to be true, that there's nothing on this earth that anybody that can say about me, good or bad, that I haven't already said to myself. And in a lot of ways, I do kind of feel like my own worst enemy, and I take 100% accountability to where I was a couple years ago when I was at my cousin Vince's wedding, and this was me back in May of 2022. Let me take myself out the screen share here. So this was me back in May of 2022. Okay, probably the lowest I ever felt about myself in the entire life. To where I'm at now, where I'm talking to you guys. This past year has been very rewarding. It's been very eye opening, and it's been very spiritually gratifying. For context, before my birthday, 2023, messed up my ankle pretty bad while I was helping my dad out with his food delivery route. I was on the south side. It was a Monday. I remember like it was yesterday. It was right before my birthday, and fucked up my ankle really bad. And we all have those moments in our life where you need like a wake up call to know that you need to change things up. And it was that moment for me. Coming through that tier where I'm recovering, I'm found myself rewatching The Last Dance, which happens to be not only one of my favorite sports documentaries of all time, but it's my personal favorite documentary series ever, and had to do with the guy that I look as much of a role model and idol to me, as much as CM Punk. It's that man right there. It's Michael Jordan. So I started watching The Last Dance, and I've been thinking about everything that was going on in my life at that time, where I felt completely worthless. I was in the middle of being furloughed, and I was also in the process of moving out of my first apartment because I lost it practically. Um, and this is like one of those periods in your life where you're just like, nothing I can do is right. No, nothing that I can do is working. It's like I can't catch a break, and I felt that, and I saw what that was because you kind of hear things and you watch movies and you watch TV shows and you kind of see somebody going through it and they have like a series of events. It's like one thing after another, but to live it and be in those shoes, it's one of the most deflating things that anybody can go through. And I'm not making this video out of for the need of wanting or needing sympathy from anybody. This is a positive and honest conversation with you guys because I've learned a lot about myself in the past year. And one of the main things I've learned about myself is that when I'm doubted, when I'm challenged, when somebody puts a ceiling in front of me, I am relentless to a fault of proving people wrong. But more importantly, when I put my mind into something, and what I really want to convey here, when I put my mind into something and I go after what I want, nobody on this earth can stop me but myself. And I had people in my life, personally and professionally, that have, kind of complimented me over the years about my ability to be disciplined and complimenting my work ethic and stuff like that. And to apply something, to apply those traits into obviously something that shouldn't have to be the case. Obviously, we all should be taking care of ourselves, with our health and everything like that. But again, I don't want to make this just about a weight loss journey because that's not what the purpose behind this was. This is a life transformation for me. And I explained that to my Diti Lucy, who's been such a big role in helping me get to where I'm at now in this new phase of my life as I'm starting my next chapter. I just turned 30 a couple months ago, and honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I gotta thank her for helping me with so many different things since I moved into this particular apartment. And now I'm kind of going back into that field again where I'm like in transition. Look, I'm taking care of myself. Things are going good with the articles, things are going good with the podcast. Obviously, I'm in a much better frame of mind mentally and spiritually than I was this time last year, and a lot of things along the way have happened to get me back in a happier state of mind. But I'm also in a bit of a state of confusion in a sense of I don't know what the next couple months are going to be like for me. I don't know how much time left that I have in Chicago, and it's starting to become reality. I'm feeling it. I see it. And it's just amazing how many things change in a year, right? And it brings me back to where this all started. So when I decided to go through this project, it was literally a couple weeks after I moved into this house. Um, and I had a conversation with my DT Lucy at the time, and about what I wanted for myself and the process I wanted to go through it. And it wasn't just about, like I said, losing weight. It was about also doing some things to become more independent. Like at that time, I never knew how to cook. I'm not afraid to admit this. I was afraid of cooking for a long time, and um, she really helped me a lot through that process. And really, when it came to things I started to notice um, to help me out, and I started noticing progress, was just, and I'm going to get to the steps part in just a couple of minutes, but there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that I was really thinking about of how I want to go about this the right way. So I was watching a lot of different YouTube videos and stuff like that, and two main things that really popped out to me when I was doing my research behind what I wanted to do with this project. So you have, this is me at that point, and let's put it back there. That's me at my worst, right? How do I get away from that, right? And what I can say is that a lot of the progress I made has really been about cutting out soda out of my life. Drinking water, lots of water, maybe too much water at times. But uh, there's three particular things: is drinking more water, meal preps, and I think that's really one of the things I gotta thank again my aunt Uncle Jose for helping me out is the process of making meal preps and learning how to cook and everything in between, and staying disciplined and consistent with that. So when I first started this, my goal was, okay, let me try to challenge myself to be realistic and be like, hey, let me do at least 5,000 steps Monday through Friday. In the meantime, I drink nothing but water. Maybe I would have a ginger ale or something like that to supplement whatever other drinks I wanted to have at that time. For those who don't know me personally, I am straight edge. I don't drink or do drugs, so I'm not consuming alcohol, and I never smoke in my life. So I've had that discipline already instilled me with stuff that I shouldn't be doing, which I think has also been kind of a blessing in this process too, where like I'm working on myself and I'm not falling into pits of doing drugs and smoking and drinking just to get my mind off of things. So if let's say if I had a bad day and I was feeling nothing but fatigue, I didn't go to those vices to get my mind off of it. You know what I mean? And I don't think a lot of people really realize what goes through these transformation projects, of the mental anguish you go through, um, both positively and negatively. Um, I think I said this before already, but I do hold a lot of shame for where I got myself to, not just with my weight, but how I saw myself. Um, for a long time, I used my loneliness to validate how I felt myself being completely worthless to people. It was if I wasn't there, and part of me felt like nobody would give a shit if I wasn't there. And I hate to say that, but that's how I really felt about things. And I think I was only good to a certain extent to people, and um, that's another thing I've been really trying to work on myself through this process, is to not put myself down as much and give myself more credit. And I think I have done that to a certain extent. Like I said, I'm a person that lives with self doubt, so it's not easy. I'm not perfect, and there's been a lot of times, especially the last couple months, where I've had those questions again about my self worth and stuff like that. And it's just like at the end of the day, I have me, and I haven't been able to say that for a long time because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted out of myself personally, outside of, okay, hey, this is Joshie. He's a broadcaster. He does articles. He is halfway decent at the guitar, and he's a good man. You know, and so many different things about self doubt. About, am I too nice of a person? Am I trying too hard to make sure that I make everybody happy, but I'm not making myself happy? And really trying to figure out what it is that was getting me to the point to where I was like this, you know? and how to make sure I don't get back to that point again. And I was watching The Last Dance and just seeing the drive and the relentlessness that Michael Jordan put into his craft, into being the goat of all goats, just really opened my eyes of knowing of what I could push myself to, and that I can block out shit. It's possible. You have the power in you to block out the shit and focus on what you need to focus on. And as long as you're consistent and pushing yourself to another level, good things are going to come out of it. And I'm here a year later, and I want to show you guys something. So I, I I wanted to have just a regular conversation with you guys. I didn't. I commit I don't have the greatest editing skills, so I'm not gonna do some fancy project to show you my progress and everything like that. I just want to have a real off the cuff conversation with you guys. So, and it's very interesting that today's August 25th as I'm recording this, because as you see here on my phone, let me bring this up to the screen. This is August of 2023. So, for perspective, when I first started doing this, I wanted to make sure that I had a consistent plan and that I was being consistent with it. So, what I did was I would do my walks Monday through Friday, and then I would lay low on the weekend and catch my breath, and then Sunday would be my day to meal prep, and then I would have meal preps from Monday through Friday. Now a couple months later, it went through meal preps from Monday through Saturday, and you know you get to routine, and it's very limited of the stuff you can have. I mean, I probably have consumed more rice in the calendar year than probably anybody has in the entire world. Um, lots and lots of chicken, salmon, just a little bit of everything. I've been, learning how to make seasoning blends and a lot of stuff over the past year that I didn't even think that I would be able to do. But I'll just give you a little behind the scenes of what it's like for me. So when I first started doing this, I was doing Monday through Fridays, meal prep on Sunday, and repeat the, repeat the process again. Now, as we go back to August of 2023, let me scroll this back up here. Here on my phone. So the app that I used in this process is called Steps. If you're Apple carrier, if you have an iPhone, um, I say that Steps is probably the most accurate one that I've used so far, because it matches up with what says in the health part of the phone. And you see here, um, August 21st of 2023 is when I decided that I'm going to keep doing this every single day. August 21st of 2023, I decided that I'm going to do every single day, at least trying to get to 10,000 steps. At that time, on August 21st of last year, I did 12,310 steps, for which was 6 miles at the time. That week, I did 100,000 steps. Okay. And in between time, I was doing most of my walks inside the house. I would go back and forth from my where I am in my recording room to the front room and back nonstop for an hour and a half or hour 40 minutes when I was pushing up to 10,000. And I was doing that almost every single day, and I kind of feel bad for my well-known grandma if I've ever been an annoyance to them, because I wouldn't say that I'm a morning person, but knowing what I needed to push myself through to make this a reality and make this consistent, I had to make sure that I had to go about it the right way. So I decided to dedicate myself to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day and get my day going from there. And I did it. And there was days where I've done 30,000 steps. Um, there was one time, I believe it was in October, that I did 41,000 steps, which was the most amount of steps that I have ever done in this process. And as proud as I am in that moment, I was scared a little bit because I thought there was going to be a moment that my knee was going to pop. And I've watched videos and try to get tips about, pushing yourself and how many people can do it. I've seen YouTube videos where people have done 50,000 steps in a day. And it's like your knees starting to pop, and your ankles and your shins are starting to cramp up, and um, started to watch a lot of David Goggins videos. Even got the book, David Goggins book that came out a couple years ago. I've read some of it here on the podcast for you guys, and I took a lot of inspiration from him. And it's like the amount of things you can push yourself through when you have a goal, and when you are at a part of your life where you're the only person at this point that you can rely on. That's some powerful shit because you are surviving, you are adapting, you are doing what you need to do to make sure that you push yourself to that next level. So, my life for a lot of 2023 was wake up, walk, drink a lot of water. At the time, I didn't get my articles back until September of 2023, so I I was just trying to do things where I can. I helped my dad out with his work, but the main thing, I was working on myself, and I was working on just getting my health back together. But in that time, when you're walking for a long time, and I'm listening to music, and um, I'm listening to different podcasts, and I'm having this time to take a step back and be like, hey, like, why did I look at this situation from this perspective? Why did I look at this situation from that perspective? And I think anybody that knows me knows that I'm true to my word, and I could be blunt at times, and I don't have a filter. Um, at the same time, um, I openly admit that I haven't allowed myself to allow people into my life, um, let people in, because I've been burnt a lot by a lot of people that I was supposed to trust and rely on in my life. And um, I think it goes back to dealing with some bullying in elementary school. And I want to say bullying to the extent in high school, but you know, being typecast and misunderstood was definitely something that I had to deal with, especially during my high school years. And I'm not I'm not proud of my time at Ronner. I was able to accomplish some cool things, being the first guitar player at the school, being part of the first football team and stuff like that. But my everyday process was just not a fun time for me. I was having some rough situations going on in my personal life during that time too, and that experience was really a big hindrance to my self confidence, and any hope that I had on actually believing myself just completely went away. And it got dark at times for me mentally during that time because it's like I'm trying to be myself. I'm trying to be a good person, but you're hearing people label you weird and God knows what. People have perceptions of you based on what other people say, and that's the thing I think about this now because it's been almost 15 years, and I'm like, what's true in your life is how you see yourself and the man upstairs. Everything in between, whether it's people that claim to be your friends or family members or whatever, at the end of the day, how do you see yourself? How do you are the person that you're waking up and going to bed with every single night. How do you see you? How can you expect anybody to accept you? How can you expect anybody to love you if you do not love yourself? So I'm doing these walks, and I'm busting my ass, and I am pushing myself harder than I ever had in my entire life. And I'm asking myself these questions of why did I allow myself to be so fucking shy? Why did I allow myself to just hide myself in a shell? Like, why didn't I allow myself to just be me and just be happy with who I am? And so what, I was a wrestling guy, and so what that I didn't want to fit in people and go out to clubs and be part of gangs and be part of gossip crews where we talk shit behind people's back. I didn't want to be that person. I just wanted to be me. I want to have some fun. I have a dark sense of humor. I like to crack jokes. I love playing music, and I love having deep conversations with people. I want to help people as much as I want to hear the sound of my voice. I don't like, as somebody lists out self doubt, I don't like hearing my voice. I can't believe I've had a podcast for almost a decade now, and you guys still give you know what about what I have to say about this stuff. You know, so many years I always wondered why would anybody give a shit about what I have to say? What am I here for? Am I here to be just good enough at certain things just to have people pass me by? Am I not appealing enough to be in a relationship with? Am I not an asshole enough? All these different thoughts, like, you know, and you see these YouTube videos about, you know, beta males and alpha males and all this extra bullshit. And I'm like, all this stuff, all these extra opinions and all these thoughts and voices inside my brain, it's not helping me. And I needed to really take that time when I was doing these walks to really ask myself, what do I want out of me? What does it matter if somebody doesn't like me, if they're not going to take the time to get to know me? What does it matter if I'm going to continue to bust my ass and it's still not good enough for said person because I don't have enough charisma or whatever the excuse is? How can I expect anybody to love me back if I don't love me? And I think that's one of the biggest things about this transformation project is that I had to rediscover who I am, because in a way, using context, I lost myself. I lost what made me me. I lost a sense of purpose, and I lost hope. I hate saying that, but I lost hope in everything, in God, in myself, and I'm like, I'm going with the ride. And I was like, something's got to give. You know, all these years of, you know, putting out good work with my wrestling media stuff, and I have no regrets with that. I don't have regrets going to broadcasting school. I don't have any regrets with that process, because this platform has allowed me to bring myself open and vulnerable with you guys in a platform that I never thought I would be able to do during my high school years. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every single one of you who have taken the time to check out a podcast of mine, whether you agreed or disagreed with anything that I had to say about wrestling or anything like that. I do appreciate you allowing me the platform and the opportunity to speak from my heart. And I thank you for helping me mature and grow through this process. Not just this transformation project, but the entire time we've been doing the Hoots podcast. Seriously, thank you. I've grown up uh, in front of you guys. So I want to go back to a little bit with the steps and the weight loss thing. So I'm not going to give you numbers because it's a private decision for me, and I'm holding myself accountable to the numbers I am as far as where I'm at and what my goal is. Um, I know where I was, and one thing I can say in the process of where I'm at now compared to where I was this time last year, I've lost over 110 pounds. And that's based off the last doctor's appointment that I had a couple weeks ago. And I want to thank the good folks at Access Health Center in Chicago, Western, and Warren. Um, Great doctors, and I appreciate their encouragement and support during this process. So I want to give a shout out to them first and foremost. But where did I get through that? If I wanted to do this video for clicks and headlines and stuff like that, I would have put like, oh, Michael Jordan inspired me to lose 100 pounds in a year. I could have done that. It's true in the context, but how did I get there? Faith, my family, Michael Jordan, a lot of quotes from CM Punk, my past experiences where I got burnt. I want to say that I'm a person that's driven off of spite. I'm not a spiteful person, but I do enjoy proving people wrong. That's part of it too. It's a lot of things. And let's show you some of the facts here. So when I started this, the beginning of July, I was at 185,000 steps. Let me bring it up here close to the screen so you guys can see it. And I did that, chilled on the weekends, Monday through Friday bit, right? Then we go from 185 to July 2023 to 335,900 steps on August 2023, where I told you about where the transition started from there. So that's 180 miles compared to 99 in the first month of doing this last July. September, we go up again, 437,000. 234 miles. September was the first month of September of last year was the first month that I did every single day. And there's the proof right there. Every single day. And this is something that I've been challenging myself to do every day since. I have not taken a day off of doing walks, or at least completed my goal of walks since August 20th of last year, which was a Sunday, and I'm recording this on a Sunday. So August 21st of last year to where I'm at now, I've done my full walk every single day since. October, 425,000 steps, 230 miles. November did 172 miles. Christmas time, 191 miles. So in 2023, I did 2,095,000 steps, which equated to 1,000,000, not 1,000,000, 1,119 miles. So use your proof there on 2023. For this is where I was when I started this project in June to December, nonstop, all the way through the holidays. Here we are, about the ending August, and right now for 2024, for context, this is where I'm at. 2 million, almost 3 million steps through 8 months of 2024. So I'm almost a full million plus from what I've already did from last year, and I've already done more miles than I did last year. I'm at 1,564 miles, and this is where I'm at. Every single day, I've done steps and I completed my goal every single day. It's been the most rewarding, mentally painful, mentally excruciating experience of my life going through this process. I have a lot of good days and I have a lot of bad days. And I hope in some way you guys could look at some of my old videos. Like, for example, I want to play this clip here of a cover that I did here on this YouTube channel. You know, let's play this for you guys. Let me pull this up here for a second. Just give me a second. Um, Okay. Let's see. Let's watch this. That was me in the middle of August of last year, doing a Taylor Swift cover because she just did the Speak Now version of her re-recording of her music, and a lot has changed. I have noticed that I'm in a better place in my heart. I'm in a better place in my health. Obviously, I hope in some way you guys can notice the progress. And I wasn't expecting fully planted goals to be done in a calendar year. I know this is going to be a long and lengthy process, and I'm not yet there of where I really want to be at the end of this project. But I had to remind myself that this project wasn't just about weight loss; it's about rediscovering myself and being happy with the person I am. So nearly 46,000 steps away, which I should hit by the end of this week. So, the beginning of September, I'll be at 3 million steps for this year. Let me go back here. So, here's the full proof here 540 hours, 1,500 plus miles, and like I said, 46,000 away from getting 3 million steps into August, which we still have October, September, October, November, December. So we have four more months. And the goal that I wanted to hit for myself this year was 4 million miles. I wanted to double the steps that I did from last year. And I think I'm close to hitting that goal. And at the end of the day, I want to thank my family for the reinsurance that I've got along this process. I want to thank my friends who have been very encouraging through this process. Well, I want to thank everybody that sent kind words to me, like on social media over the past couple months that have noticed my progress, not just with my health and stuff like that, but um, just seeing the changes in me in general. Um, I want to thank the people who have done me wrong. I want to thank Michael Jordan in The Last Dance for really the driving final part for me to push myself to that. Okay, I'm going to do this. I want to thank wrestling for being a good mental escape for me. Um, when I had bad days of fatigue or just self doubt and shame, wrestling is there to be an escape during that process. And you know, doing having two jobs, um, still having the time to put in the effort I'm to at least hit at least 80 to 90,000 steps a week. Um, it's not easy. Um, I know there had to be some sacrifices along the way for stuff that I enjoy, like snacks and stuff like that, but also a little bit of sleep. Um, and I try my best to make sure that I'm taking my care. I'm trying to get as much rest as I can, so I try to take little naps here and there when I get home. But I do keep a busy work schedule, and I am a busy person. But through it all, I wanted to say that this has been very rewarding, and it's been 100% worth it. And I want to say, um, I am not content and not 100% completely satisfied, but I'm starting to see and feel the progress, which is the most important thing. And I've challenged myself to do different things that I never expected to do. I've done a lot of my big walks have been outside and going to Humboldt Park and back to my house, which is like 3 miles in itself, and then taking certain Fridays throughout the calendar year and having some downtime, but also walking all over Navy Pier, then going through part of the Mag Mile all the way just to get to Grand Estate to take the bus back. So there's been times where I've done 10,000 steps in downtown Chicago outside. And for somebody that had bad ankles and both my feet were practically swollen by the time I started this, that's something that I'm proud of, because it wasn't like I didn't do long walks when I was bloated and where I was this time last year, but I felt it when I would you know, take a walk to get lunch at the breakfast place that was close by my old apartment, and I would feel the pain in my ankles and just my legs of the cramping would go on just to get back to my house, which was like 3 blocks away, and feeling shitty about that then, you know, to now where I get back to my house after a long walk downtown and I'm like, all right, it was a lot, but I'm feeling good. I'm not aching and pain, and sky's the limit, folks. If you ever feel like you can't do something, remind yourself that you can. There's nothing in this world that you cannot do. And I want to thank you all for allowing me to take some of your time to share my story with you and let you guys know that I'm not done yet. I had a certain couple goals that I wanted to hit, and one of them, especially this year, was to make sure that I hit 4 million steps, and we're almost there at a stretch run. So I want to thank you all. This is my honest update to you guys of what my transformation journey has meant to me, not only with my health, but my mental health and my spiritual health. And with that being said, as I say every time on my podcast, be the authentic product that is yourself. And remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life, but yourself the man upstairs. I'm Joshie. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And we'll talk to y'all in the next one. Yeet.